Good morning, third graders. It's good to see you. It's Monday, and we're going to start off with trying to finish up our composition notebook notes on our multiples of factors. Just a reminder, your factor is the number that you are using to multiply. Your multiples are basically your skip counting by that specific amount or fact. So let's take a look at, we have already finished 1 through 5s, and now I want to, and also 10s, and now I want to go back and take a look at 6s through 9s. So remember, 6s can be a double of your 3s. Since 3 and 3 makes 6, you can always double your 6s to get your 3s. So, one group of 6, let's get started. Make sure you have your composition notebook, a pencil, and also this is already in your table of contents. So, remember, this is page 7 on your table of contents. All right, so we're going to start off with 6s. So, one group of 6 is 6. Two groups of 6 is like saying 6 plus 6, so that's 12. Again, you'll notice that it's a double here. So if we were to double 9, 3 groups of 6 would be 18. Again, using our understanding of doubling our 3s, 12 doubled would be 24. And basically what we're doing is we're just adding another group of 6 from the last number. Add another group of 6. 6 and 4 makes a 10, so we know that this is 30. So 5 groups of 6 is 30. Add another group of 6. This is probably one of my favorite multiplication facts, or my favorite multiples. 30 plus 6 is 36. 36, add 6 more. So if you add 6 and 6, 6 and 6 is 12. You know you're carrying and regrouping a 10. So 7 groups of 6 is 42. Add 6 to 2. That's going to be 48. So now we're at 8 groups of 6. So this is 6 times 8. 6 groups of 9, or 9 groups of 6. 9 groups of 6 is going to be 54. And 10 groups of 6 is 60, because 10 times 6 is 60. And one more group, which is 11 groups of 6, is 66. I think I spread them out there a little bit. Okay, so again, you will notice that 6s are a double of your 3s in every case. So if you know your 3s really well, let's say, for example, if you know 3 times 5 really well, or maybe 3 times 6 really well, 6 groups of 3, you can double 18 to get 6 groups of 6. Again, 7 groups of 3, 7 groups of 3. Well, 7 groups of 6 would be 42. So again, just that understanding that you can double your 3s and get 6s. Now let's move on to our 7s. And remember, I've told you that I like to do, using distributed property, use 5s and 2s to help me with that, because 5 times 7s and 2 times 7s are going to give me my multiples of 7. So one group of 7 is 7. 2 groups of 7 is 14. 3 groups of 7, so I'm going to add another group of 7 here, and that is going to give me 21. So I could actually say 5 times 3, which is 15, and 2 times 3, which is 6. So if I did 5 times 3 and 2 times 3, 5 times 3 is 15, and 2 times 3 is 6. And I add those together, and that would give me 21. So just another little strategy to help you with your facts. Another group of 7 is going to be add 7 to 1, and that's going to be 28. So again, 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8, 28. So again, Just another way to get your facts. Okay, add another group of 7. That's going to be 5 groups of 7, which is 35. Remember, we can always make sure that we know it's a multiple of 5, so we can switch our factors and say 5 groups of 7 is the same as 7 groups of 5. 5 groups of 7 is the same as 7 groups of 5. Okay? Add another group of 7. That's going to be 12. Add a 10. That's 42. So 6 groups of 7 is the same as 7 groups of 6. 7 times 7. 7 groups of 7 is 49 because I added 7 more to this 2, which gives me 9. 7 groups of 7. 8 groups of 7 is going to be 56. And notice how we're going odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd, even. So that tells me my next multiple is going to be, right, odd, correct? So if I add 7 to 6, that's 13. Carry the 10, that's 63. Again, if I wanted to think about this, I could multiply 5 times 9 is 45. 9 times 2 is 18. And 45 plus 18 is going to give me 63. Again, just another strategy to help me with my 7s. 7s can be kind of tricky. 70 is going to be my 10 times 7. And finally, 11 times 7 is one more group of 7. So 10 times 7 plus a 1 times 7, if you were thinking about your distributive property. Okay, 8s. We can double 4s to get 8s. So if I double this 4, that tells me that's 8. And again, 8 plus 8 is 16. 8 plus 8 would be 16. Here's 12. 3 groups of 8, or 8 groups of 3, is going to be 24, because I'm doubling my 4 to get my 8s. I can double 16 to get 4 groups of 8. 4 groups of 8 would be 32. 5 groups of 8 is the same as 8 groups of 5. So that's going to be 40. Add another 8 here. That's pretty easy to add. Add 8 and 40, and that's 48. So now we're at 6 groups of 8. And I can use my 5 times 8 to help me with my 6 times 8. If we know what 5 times 8, which we should, then we should be able to get 6 times 8. Add 8 more to 8. Everybody should know what 8 plus 8 is because that's a double. That would be 16. And then I'm carrying that 10 to the 10's place for 56. One more group of 8, which is 7 groups of 8. 8 groups of 8. Add another 8. That's going to give me 64. Add another group of 8, that's going to give me 72. 10 groups of 8 is like saying 10 groups of 8 and 8 groups of 10 is 80. And finally, 11 groups of 8 is adding one more group of 8 to 10 groups of 8, and now I have 11 times 8 is 88. Okay, last fact. We're going to do our 9s, our 9s factor. We're going to do the multiples of 9s. So you will notice that when I do my multiples of 9, there's going to be a specific pattern you're going to start to see. And start looking at your 1s and your 10s place as we continue on. So we have 9. One group of 9 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18, so I'm doubling my 9 to get 18. 2 groups of 9. 3 groups of 9 is 27. 4 groups of 9 is going to be 36. The next group is 5 groups of 9, and that's a multiple of 5 also. So we could also come up here and look at our multiples of 5, and that would be 45. 6 groups of 9, again, here's 54. 7 groups of 9 is going to be 63. And since we've done all our other facts, now we can use those for 8 groups of 9 would be 72. 9 groups of 9, well, we add 9 here. And really what we could do is add 10, subtract 1 for each one of these. So if I add 10 to 9, that gives me 19, take away 1, now I'm at 18. Add 10 to 18, add 10 to 18, that's 28, subtract 1, 27. Add 10 to 27, that's 37, subtract 1, 36. So that's another way to look at your multiples of 9, by add 10, take away 1. Add 10, take away 1. So it's like saying 10 minus 1 are your 9s. 72, add 10 would be 82, subtract 1 is 81. Add 10, well this is 10 groups of 9 or 9 groups of 10, right? So we could use this fact here, which is 90 and then 99. Now, if you take a look here, I want to show you a little pattern that's going on here in your numbers. You will notice that as you go, your ones place and your tens place are switching places here. So you don't start numbers with 0, but if we did, you could pretend that this would be a 0 and a 9 here, since we don't have any tens. And this is 90. 18, 81. You're switching those facts, or those, place values. Your ones and your tens are switching, if you notice that. And why is that? It's because you have 10 minus 1, which is 9. And so 10 minus 1 gives you that 9. And so you're actually using that pattern within. So 27, 72, 36, 63, 45, 54. So again, 9 and 90, 18 and 81, 27 and 72, 36, 63, 45, 54. So if you know 9 times 5, then using your 9 times 5, you can move your ones and your tens, and now you have 9 times 6, or 6 groups of 9. 6 times 9 is going to be 54. If you know 3 times 9, you can use that with 7 times 9. Another little trick of the trade is, and some parents have already shown this to some students, but using that idea of 9, you have 10 fingers, and since you have 10 fingers, this works out with 9s because you take 10 minus 1 and you get the other fact. So let's say, for example, I wanted to know what 9 times 3 was. So going from left to right, this is my 1 finger, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So if I wanted to multiply 9 times 3, I would take my 3rd finger, place that down, and I look to the left side of my down finger, and that's 2 fingers, which those are my 10s. And on the right side, I have 7 fingers, and those are my 1s. So I have 20 and 7. Now this only works for 9s because of that 10 minus 1 pattern. So again, if I wanted to do 9 times 4, I would put my 4th finger down. On the left side, I have 3 10s, and on my right side, I have 6 fingers up, so those are my 1s. So I have 36. 9 times 4 is 36. Same thing would happen if I did my 9 times 5. I put this thumb in, because that's my 5th finger, and I have 4 tens on the left of that thumb, and I have 5 fingers on the right of that thumb, and this gives me 45. I'm going to try one more with you. I'm going to do 9 times 8, and 9 times 8. This is my 8th finger right here. So I have 7 fingers on the left side of that down finger. That's 70. And I have 2 fingers on the left side, and those are my ones. So that's 72. So that's just another one of those little tricks. Now, that's not a way to explain your thinking. It's just a little trick to help you with your multiplication facts and being a little more fluent with them. So make sure you finish your notes up, and happy Monday.